We're live. All right. Hello and welcome, everybody. This is Darla Ledoux. I am here with the fabulous Ashley Woods. And you will get to know Ashley here in just a moment. I'm going to set the stage for what we're doing here. So this is here's my book. Here's my prop. It's the launch week of Shift the Field. Today is Thursday. We've been doing drawings all week, giving away fabulous prizes. And so today's day 4. We have one more drawing tomorrow. So if you have not gotten in this drawing, we're going to show the big wheel with all the names and everything. If you're not in the wheel and you want to be, you want to buy the book, first of all, on Amazon. And you can take that receipt number and go put it in the website over here at shiftthefield.com. So I'll put that up here. You can also see our book trailer and just get to know a little bit of what the book is about. It's been getting such good reviews. I think at the end of this week, I might just sit and cry a little bit with gratitude for all the love that people have been sending. And we had someone earlier today say, if I had gotten this book when I first started my business, it would have been a game changer. I had to learn all of this over time, over many years. So
the hard way.
Yeah. So I'm really, really hoping that it serves a lot of people. The other thing we are doing, so we have today's drawing. We're drawing for a shirt, a ticket to Shift the Field live, which is May 20th to 22nd, and a sticker, which looks like this, I Am Sourced, and a session with Ashley. So that is the grand prize. So we'll draw that one last, and you'll get to know her and why you want that here. We also decided, because people started getting their books already, which is amazing, and started posting pictures with the book. And so Diane said she just got her copy today. So Diane, if you want to get in another drawing, post a picture with your book, use the hashtag #ShiftTheField. And we're going to be searching that, whether it's on Insta or Facebook. We're going to be gifting one more set of prizes next week, another event ticket and a session with me, which is the only place to get one of those. So that'll be
nice.
Nice. So post your selfie with the book and we will automatically enter you in there. So Ashley, I am so grateful that you're here. I want to let you know Ashley Woods has been a client, she is a friend, and she is also a member of my team, which I'm so grateful for. She is a super talented coach. She lives for transformation, as I do. And she is an Enneagram expert. She helps her clients through retreats, through coaching. And we share this love of transformation, or helping people to actually shift the field in their life rather than trying all these different strategies that may or may not work and bumping up against their own internal obstacles. Yeah. So Ashley, before we geek out on commitment, our topic for today, just tell people a little bit about why you are drawn to this work and why you love it.
Yeah. Well, it was about 15 years ago. I found myself in a bit of I was in a hot mess kind of stage in my life. I was really self-sabotaging my relationships and my opportunities. I was kind of in my mid-20s at that point. And I just, on the outside, I think I appeared very confident and outgoing and upbeat. And I had a pretty good-looking life on the outside. But inside, I just didn't feel like I was worthy of what I had. I was kind of hustling to try to prove that. And in the process, I was just really wreaking some havoc. And I went to my first retreat, weekend kind of retreat workshop. And I walked out of those 3 days and everything in my life looked different. It was like
Mm.
for the first time I understood that I actually had a choice about how I interpreted the things that were happening, that life wasn't happening to me, but I was actually at the source of my experience. And when I say everything looked different, it really did. It was like the sky was brighter and the trees were greener and just
Yeah.
yeah. So I was hooked. And
Yeah.
I've been engaging in transformational work ever since. I was like, well, I don't know what you guys are doing here, but I want more. Mhm.
I relate to that
Yeah.
completely. Yeah, the
Yeah.
trees look greener. It's like trying to explain transformation is like maybe trying to explain sex. It's like, yeah, did you say that? Someone said that. Maybe I wrote that
That
one.
sounds like something I might say
But
lately, but I don't know.
it's like, yeah, the trees look greener. Like it's all of a sudden, whoa, I never even noticed this in life
Yeah.
before. And
Yeah.
now I see. So yeah, but it's the kind of thing that doesn't translate super well into a description.
I don't think you appreciate how much the noise in your head is clouding over your experience. But I remember very early on a very distinct moment of I'd gone with a friend, we grabbed lunch, we took it out on the patio and we're eating. And I took one bite into this chicken salad sandwich, and my mind was like, this doesn't have pecans in it. My grandma puts pecans in it, and it's better when it has pecans in it. And then I took another bite, and it's like, it's a little too much mayonnaise, and I think it should have more, just this whole but then, as if in a moment, I heard myself saying all that, and I caught it because I had this new awareness, and I stopped and I just kind of let it go. Like, oh, okay, this is the
Mm.
chicken salad sandwich I'm holding right now. And it was like instantly I could feel the sun on my skin.
Mm.
I could hear the birds chirping. And it's like, how is that happening this whole time? And I'm missing it. So it was moments like that over and over that I was just like, man, there's something to this.
Wow. I'm thinking of the default energy. So in the book, we talk about how do you shift from a default energy to a sourced energy, right?
Mm-hmm,
Default
mm-hmm.
is maybe heavy, it's old, it's stagnant. It's like kind of how we always know ourselves to be. And sourced is in the present moment. It's created, co-creative, right? It just
Yep.
is like how we wish to express. And so as you're kind of talking about that shift, what I'm hearing is a default might have been, well, let me judge this.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure it didn't just come up with your chicken sandwich.
No. It's like, let me compare this to how I think it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or some ideal version in my mind of what it's supposed to be like, which is absolutely a personality pattern that I'd been experiencing.
Yeah. And then it's happening everywhere, right? And then how do you embrace the people or the opportunities or the sandwiches in your life with that default energy? It's challenging, but there's a reason that you created it, right? There's a safety. So for anyone who's ever experienced this, there's a safety in the old way, in the default. Like, as long as I keep being this way, I know what I'm going to get.
Yeah.
I'll never be disappointed by my chicken sandwich if I judge it first, if I
or I'll always be disappointed, but that'll be comfortable, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So when we were chatting about the book and what to discuss today, so each time we're doing these drawings, we're doing just a little teaching, and we talked about commitment.
Yeah.
And so there's a whole chapter on commitment. It's actually the first stage of the anatomy of a transformation. And commitment is kind of the prerequisite for things. Yeah. And when we're not committed, or a client isn't committed to actually transforming, it can be like, pushing a boulder up a hill. So, yep. Ashley, when you think about commitment and how you've seen it in your own work, what comes to mind?
The first thing that comes to my mind is we're ready when we're ready. Right? So there's some level of like, it's amazing the amount of shit that we can tolerate in our lives. It's just really remarkable how people can kind of I've done it myself, can kind of stay in the same cycle for so long. before they're really ready to do something about it. But there is a moment of readiness that comes. And I think that there's something that has to happen for that readiness to be there. And it could be one conversation that sparks something. But as soon as we're ready, nothing's going to stop us. So that's what I've seen. And I've seen, I see it in the way people kind of circle the periphery, the outer edges. I'm saying that word wrong. Where for a long time, they'll want to come on retreat or they'll want to do work with me, right? It's like, oh, I'm going to come one day. And and then you can see they're kind of bumping their head against the same thing in their relationship, or they're still complaining about the job. And it's like, oh, it's kind of painful on the outside to watch. It's like, but at the moment they've decided that they've had enough, then their whole future could open up for them.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and it's great when someone's in the periphery and they know, when I'm committed, I can hire you. But a lot of times people don't know. They don't have, don't even have exposure to this conversation to even know, like, wow, the trees are green and you could see them. And so, but when they're already in your world, they're getting these conversations. And yet, in the book, I quote Callan Rush, who has a book called Wealth Through Workshops. And in it, she says 3% of people that need your solution know they have a problem, know they need a solution like yours, and are actively looking. So
I remember you sharing this before. It's like such a small number.
It's such a small number. So, this is where people kind of, let me just put out here, this is my shingle, and wait for people to come, but they don't even know. Because people don't understand that the grass is green. They don't know that this level of shifting the field in their life is possible. She says, I think it's like 28% are never going to change. They're just, whether they don't have a problem, they don't ever want to know they have a problem, right? They're not going to. But there's this large percent, almost 70% in the middle, that has the problem, wants a solution, but they don't even know that a solution exists, and they don't even really know what the problem is.
Well, that makes sense to me, given that we know that, like, when from whatever perspective you might be in, how could you see a solution if what you're looking at is here?
Exactly.
And the solution lives in your blind spot, so you wouldn't see it, and that makes sense to me. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And if it's hidden from your view, you can't, you don't know what to go look for. To solve it. And so there's this level of, I call it cultivating commitment. That we want to do as practitioners. And this is, traditional marketing can say, poke the pain. Right? Like, and there's some of that, but people have their own internalized pain already. People don't need their pain poked. They know, they know. But so as a practitioner, how do you help someone look within and determine their level of commitment? Because if we don't stop, right, we stay so busy. If we don't stop to even consider what we're committed to, then every day just becomes like the same, right? So, people when we're ready, nothing can stop us. I completely agree with that. It's like when we get committed, the right resource, the right coach, the right shit hitting the fan moment in your life is going to happen. And then you'll learn from that. How can we, with our clients, help create commitment? What have you felt and noticed about that?
Well, the first thing that comes up for me is, like, most of all, relating to them like they are whole and able and powerful. Like in my work, I say, you are a powerful creator. You are always co-creating your experience. So first, the energy that I would bring in the space in which I would hold them is, this is who you are. I know who you are, and this is who you are. So I would speak, I would relate to that and speak to that. I think that's the most important thing. Then beyond that, it's like inviting them to consider. Just invite. That's my certainly my method would be like an invitation to think about it in a different way. So, I've learned over time and in working with you and a lot of practice in this over the years that part of the magic I bring is this very sort of penetrative energy. So one of the ways that I support my clients is by bringing what I naturally bring, which is this penetrative inquiry. I've got a client I worked with in the past, and when she talks about work, she'll always say, just let Ashley ask you 3 questions. Just 3 questions, and like you're going to see something completely differently. And so for me, that's me bringing my magic to the process.
Yes.
But that would be to ask them a question that maybe nobody has ever asked them before, and to invite them to look somewhere that they've never looked before, and be the loving but fierce space in which they can really look and feel safe to do so.
As you're speaking, I'm thinking of, we did a magic panel earlier here, and it makes me think of the compassion magic, where when you said, first of all, I see them as whole and able and powerful. Right? That is a part of compassion magic. We might think compassion is, oh, poor you, but it's this, no, I know you have what it takes, and I see you, I love you, you've got this. So that's what I hear when you speak about that. And then I'm doing this because I'm thinking about, you use a phrase called the Care Bear stare.
That's right.
And I feel like there's this ties to commitment in that, and I know you'll explain this to people, in that when someone's not yet committed, they're on the periphery of this Care Bear stare, right? And they might be watching, and they might be thinking what it might be like to work with you, or what transformation in their life might be like, but they're really not committed. They're just kind of dancing around it. And then they step into this beam.
Yeah.
And that's the commitment. Like, I see that as the delineation of commitment. So can you tell people about what the Care Bear stare is?
Yeah, this is a imagery that came to me in some work that we were doing. I've recently been in a big shift of my own, personally and professionally. And something that came to me, like this energy that wants to now come through, is a very penetrating Care Bear stare. I saw it in a meditation. It was like a visual. It was coming straight from my solar plexus, shooting out in a very clear line of light. It wasn't that spread out soft light. It was this clear, delineated line of light. And it's this energy field that I hold, or this container that I hold, that when people step in and they make that conscious choice to step into that line of light, that shit in their life is going to move. It's going to move. So that's what that is for me.
Yeah, I love it. So first of all, if anyone's too young to know the Care Bears, right, they have this light shining out of their belly.
Yep.
I think of 2 more questions. One is, when you, just from a client standpoint, right, or from a person standpoint, we're all clients of someone, or a person who could be a client of someone, right?
Yep.
So personally, stepping into that field, if someone is in a place of like, I don't know, maybe they've taken courses or they've read books, right? Like, if you might order my book, it's not the same as working personally, right?
Yep.
So if someone's taken a lot of stuff, but they haven't like stepped into that kind of firm container, right? This is kind of like trying to describe or transformation, right? So what would you say is different when you're actually in the commitment?
Well, you know, I've read a lot of books that have made a profound difference in my life for sure. And there's a distinct difference in the experience when you step into a container where you're making a commitment for something that you have no idea how you're going to realize it.
Yeah.
So you'll know you're making that kind of commitment because it's going to feel a little scary, maybe a lot scary. My experience says it has a visceral sensation to it. I mean, every time I've made moves like that, you know, I've like paid the deposit and then stood there crying or trembling, you know, it's some version of that, of I'm saying yes to something that I know wants to come through me, that I know I want, but I have no idea what's about to happen.
Yeah. Well, I love that you said that, because the very next stage is releasing control, right? So we commit and then we release control, or we surrender, right? It's like I don't know. And you have to really get that you don't know, because if you already knew, you would have created it.
Yeah.
You would already be there. There's something, like you were saying, in your blind spot that is in the way.
Well, and I think too, if you already knew, it would be just some polished up version of your past. It would be within the confines of your already existing limited thinking. That's right.
Yeah. So we're stepping into the unknown, and it's inherently scary, right? Our old patterns are going to come up and go, no, don't change. I'm comfortable, right? Or people in our life will show up and say, no, don't go into the light.
That's
Stay
right.
over here.
That's right. Okay, Darla, did you see, I don't think we talked about this yet. Did you see Frozen 2?
No.
I mean, I have nieces and nephews, right? So with my nieces, a couple of weeks ago when I was there, we watched it, but I think you'd appreciate it from that regard. Like, she hears this voice calling to her, and it's calling her to go. And it means she has to potentially leave behind these people that she loves. And she's grappling with, do I follow? But also recognizing I can't not listen to this.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what she says is there's a song that's like Into the Unknown, and it's like this really fierce, you know, it's calling her forward, and she follows it, and of course it all works out wonderfully. And
spoiler alert.
Yeah. Well, you know.
So good. So good. And it's so true. And we don't like to think about these things. So then I'm going to just ask one more question from the other perspective, as the coach, as the practitioner, healer, transformation provider, knowing that when your client steps in, they're going to release control, like willingly, or the universe will do it for them, right? It's like one way or the other. What advice would you have for someone around just knowing that? So you're holding the space for your client, and their shit's gonna happen.
Yeah, that if you think you know how it's gonna go, then you're limiting it too. So you have to trust yourself that in the moment, if you're connected, you'll know how to respond, and you don't have to know where it's gonna go.
Yes.
And that's part of the adventure and the magic of it. You don't have to know, but that's hard. I mean, at first it feels like you do, right? And especially if they're coming up against some things that are really challenging or really hard. And, you know, if you've been in the position as a coach or leader where you feel responsible for what someone's experiencing, or you want them to be happy with your work. So, you know, it's like, you don't want them to be upset. And it's almost like, well, that's the good news. You know, when they start hitting that stuff, you're actually, it's a pretty good sign you're onto something. So.
It's a good sign. Yeah. It's like, okay, celebrate, because that means that they're clearing space for a new energy. But a lot of times we can go, oh no, right? And a client can be super convincing too, of like, oh, this is bad. I've made a mistake. This is a terrible idea.
Yep.
And so really understanding, these are the concepts in the book, understanding where the client is. Like if they are in release control and something happens in their life, like tune in, help them tune in, right? But
yeah,
most often it's a question of, oh, interesting. I wonder how that's supporting your transformation.
yeah.
Right? Like something is going to show up to help them surrender control.
Yeah, it's like trusting the process.
Yeah.
Being familiar with the process and the way you outline it is brilliant. And then trusting that. It's like when you go to reorganize your closet, it's probably going to look way worse before it comes together in this beautiful way. It's like kind of the same. You start
That's a
cleaning
great
out, and it's just
analogy.
like disgusting everywhere.
That's a great analogy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you get
really
there.
is. It really is. Awesome. So guys, you can find out how to order the book and get on our drawing for tomorrow over, oh, that's the hashtag. Well, you can post your picture with the hashtag and get in a new drawing, but this is where you can order the book over at shiftthefield.com. So we are going to draw some prizes here. And the grand prize today is a session with Ashley Woods. So Ashley is our lead coach in our Your Sourced Expression program, which is our private coaching program. It's got private coaching and it's got a group component. It's got 2 retreats in it. They're virtual this year. But it's really, really amazing if you are in a place of transformation, of shifting the field in your business, and you want support to really help define what the new you looks like, what the new business model looks like. So, but prize number 1 is a I Am Sourced shirt. And you can buy these at i-m-sourced.shopify.com. I set up a little shop for myself, basically.
Because it's fun. Yay.
All right. So Wanda wins a shirt. Amazing. And we have your contact info, so we will get that to you. The next prize, I believe, is a ticket to Shift the Field Live. Team,
this is such
if
an
I
awesome.
messed that up, let me know. Shift the Field Live is happening, and I will post this in the chat too. It's happening May 20th to 22nd. And if you do not win a ticket, you can get a discounted ticket when you buy our book. So super cool. But here is here's the page. I posted that in the chat. And let us spin.
I love how this wheel has grown.
I know. More and more people are buying the book.
So
and
great.
I also just was noticing how the wheel matches my hair.
You're so stylish.
And Bex. Amazing. And so in this event, we will spend 3 days literally practicing the concepts in the book, so you have them in your beingness.
Yeah.
And we're going to use the anatomy of a transformation on your business, so you get to actually shift the energy in your business during the event. So it's going to be really fun. This is for the sticker.
I need one of these stickers, by the way.
Done.
And then next time I see you.
Matthew wins a sticker. Amazing. All right, Ashley, put all the vibes out for this person who's going to step into the Care Bear stare.
All right, come on. I got you.
Come on. They're probably already nervous in their stomach right now, and they don't know why. That's how it feels when you know you're in a potent space.
That's right. That's right. It does.
And Maria
Beautiful.
Kellis, session with Ashley Woods. So we will email you about your prizes. Ashley, anything you want to share as we close here?
Well, for all the people that are tuning into your work, like if you are committed to transformation at any level, a coach, a healer, a consultant, like The way, Darla, you have a way of bringing process to things that's really brilliant. And I think it's so simply put and so graspable that again, I've been doing this for 15 years and I couldn't have articulated it in the way that you did. So I think anybody who's committed to that and interested in that, like, this will just be a resource for you going forward. So it's like a no-brainer, and absolutely come to the live event. I'm so excited about that. And
Ashley and I will be together live in the flesh. So that'll be fun.
So come play with us. Yeah.
Yes. Thank you so much, Ashley, for your time. Thank you for who you are in the world and your level of commitment. I just adore you. And thank you to everybody who's watching and buying the book. Like, yay!
Yay.
Number one. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Have a great evening.
Tomorrow.
All right. Bye-bye.